I don't know.
Bro, was your chin bitten by a radioactive radio host?
Not yet.
Oh my
Is that gonna
gosh.
I
change?
forgot that's how he got that shit.
Hey everybody, this is Crimstronic and welcome to the Rising Rush podcast.
All right, thank you, everybody. Welcome to the Rising Rush podcast, where we talk everything Dragon Ball Legends related, such as news, meta, hot takes, you name it. I am your host, A-Town, alongside our co-hosts, Obsto, Desla, and Glow. And today we have a very special guest with us tonight. He has gone God rank over a dozen times. He has a total following on social media for almost 4,000 followers spread between Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. He's a God Key main and a Super Saiyan God Goku biggest fan with a high-pitched scream. Please welcome Crimstronic. Welcome to the podcast.
I see you planned that out, huh?
You know I got to do my research, you know?
Love it, love it.
All right, so we're going to kick things off with the weekly reset as of the 8th of May. We have some returning banners such as the Ultra Rising Radiant Rose that has returned, and that's going to be live through the 18th of May. We've also got another Ultra Rising banner, Margin of Calamity, which is the Kid Buu banner that has also returned up until the 18th of May. So if you need any of those units for the teams that you main, you can do that. Otherwise, save for the anniversary. Wink, wink. We've also got the Rating Match Proud Preseason 2 that is currently live through the 24th of May as well. There's also a new Platinum equipment for PvP that specializes for purple Saiyan Saga units or purple Powerful Opponent, whichever you decide to go with. We've also got the Power Battle Reset that has more Z power for Whis. So if you need that free-to-play unit, that would be another opportunity to do that. Golden Rush is back as well through the 15th of May. Tournament of Power has also reset, so collect your Chrono Crystals if you have done it the last reset. And then we've also got a new version 5.2.0 update that is currently live in the game. We're going to spend some time talking about that, see what visual changes that we've noticed, some quality of life improvements, etc. The 5-9 Goku Day campaign that is also live, and that's going to be going through the 21st of May. So, you know, collect those tickets, get those free Gokus, and get those teams leveled up. As for some meta conversation, we'll be talking more of a breakdown of the 5.2.0 update to see what's new, what we like, what we don't like. And then we'll also do more of a deep dive in the Rating Match Proud season to see what everybody's take is on that, since it is back again, and it looks like there's been some changes on that. And then lastly, we'll have our special guest segment where we'll ask Crim some pointed questions related on his playstyle, teams, etc. So you all as listeners could get to know Crim in a more personal level. And then lastly, again, we'll talk about Dragon Ball related news. So I know that was a lot that we just kind of ran through, but let's talk about this 5.2.0 update. So we didn't get any new characters, no new Zenkais, but we did get this. I'll start off with you, Krim. What do you think of this update so far? Do you like it? Do you don't like it?
So, it's not the biggest update in the world, because I've definitely seen bigger updates in the past, like when they changed the character select screen, when they've changed the team setup screen. But they did add a new PvP. They added the new logo for the new season with the double proud mode, and standard mode.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't add any new characters, like you said, which is kind of surprising, especially 3 weeks before the anniversary. But
Agreed.
the update's not bad. I mean, I've still gotten, this is kind of related, but not really. There's still crashing issues with the game that I'm personally having to deal with, where
Oh
I'm in
no.
PvP and the game just crashes for me in the middle of a fight. And I was kind of
It
hoping
might
they
be a
would fix
device
that.
thing. It really might be a device thing more so than
Maybe. I know a couple other people,
yeah,
like I know
'cause-
Prof had that issue as well.
Yeah, I saw that on social media where he
yeah.
was trying to grind God rank before the season reset, and he was having some issues, but then it looked like he started to overcome some of that. So, but I mean, besides the crashes, that kind of sucks. But for the overall layout, anything else that kind of stood out to you on the new update?
Honestly, the only other thing with the new update was apparently a messed up co-op. That's the only big thing. I mean, they didn't really add anything other than that. Oh, there is a couple things actually. They did change the Zenkai Rush Metal shop
Mm-hmm.
to make 70 instead of 30,
Thank
which
God.
is it's not bad. And the biggest thing for me is the Legends Pass, the new equipment.
What
We
was
get
that?
300 more equipment slots.
Yes,
That's
sir.
really good. I love
That's
that.
clutch.
Yeah. So for anyone who has invested in it's what is it like $3.99, $4.99 a month or something for the Legends Pass, like
Something like that.
you're getting a whole slew of slot equipment slots, so you can rank up and get the equipment the way that you need to. Especially if you main multiple teams out there, because I can say I main like what 3, 4 teams at this point, and I don't have every single equipment god rank in the game. And for content creators that do or strive to do something like that, like your slots got to be limited. Like how do you have so much space to even like farm for new equipment when there's
It's
when
tough.
yeah, it's got to be tough. But I did also notice some visual changes, like the unique gauge on the opponent's end. It looks like it's a little bit smaller. Have you guys noticed that?
Yes, I
It's
noticed
trash.
that
It's annoying.
yesterday, and
I
it's
think
so
there's a
tiny.
there's a very real reason why that happened, and I think we're actually gonna start getting units with multiple gauges. So
Oh
they had to
no.
make a room. They had to make room to show more.
Multiple gauges is going to be so bad for
You're
the
gonna
game.
make
That's
me
I'm not even
throw
scary.
up,
joking.
bro.
Bro, we need gauge lock right now. We needed it 3 years ago.
Yeah, but like, what would
Like
the
we
unique
have
gauges do? One for defensive and one for offensive. One fills up when you get hit. One fills
my
up when you do
guess is
attacks.
my guess is they're gonna have one be like either an offensive or defensive gauge, and then the other gauge is gonna be something like a timer gauge.
Mm.
Because theoretically, right? If what Krim is saying is true, that we're gonna have units with two gauges, this may be kind of how they do the whole what's it called? Super Vegito thing, where it'll be a Goku and a Vegeta that just tag swap. They'll have like an offense gauge or whatever, but they'll have a second gauge that's a timer, and once it fills up to a certain point, they'll just go into Super Vegito.
I can definitely see that. In
Could
my
be.
my personal opinion, I'm kind of getting tired of gauges. Like it seems that unique gauges have become the standard for like meta relevant or even just newer units in general, where everybody and their mom has a unique gauge. I think they need some kind of unique identifier to improve the landscape of the game that adds more depth to characters versus just a unique gauge. Maybe like another identifier that shows buffs or something else that fills up that you gotta like press and hold a strike card to do more damage. Kind of like Super Vegito's Ultimate, where you have to like tap the screen multiple times to increase the damage. Maybe
You
they'll
mean
have like,
UVB?
yeah, UVP, you know what I mean? But something like that, you know? So I don't know. We'll have to see what they'll come out with this anniversary, because what we're 6 years in and they're probably going to drop something new that we've never seen before. So I'm definitely skeptical
Mm.
on what to expect on that. But Glow, what is your perspective on this 5.2.0 update? What do you like and what do you don't like so far?
Honestly, it's cool. There's nothing too crazy. Obviously, like the gauge change implies that like they might be doing something, but knowing these devs, it could be like it could simply be that they just changed it to change it, and then they're gonna get complaints, and then they're probably gonna change it back. Could be, but there is like the odds of what Krim is saying that like we're gonna get units with two gauges. It's a non-zero odds. It's possible it could still happen. I know we got a few updates for some equips. Yeah, they look good. I know we're gonna talk about that a bit later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say this is a small detail that I do like. Now, when you get chrono crystals, like the little sound it makes, I do like it, and it
I
shows
noticed
you
that
as it
too.
like increases. It's a little. It scratches that little like itch in the back of my ear. I do like it.
Yeah. Like coins jingling or something like that. It's like, oh, I got some more cash to spend. Let's
Yeah,
go. All right.
exactly. I do like that. The Legends Pass change. I mean, I'm old school, so I'm used to like buying the what's it called? Getting the like extra slots that you can normally get through other PvE shops.
Mm-hmm.
I've maxed those out. Mind you, when they introduced the godly stuff, I was like clearing house of all my equips. I went through every single equip and I was like, if it can't go godly, I'm selling it. I went from 400 equips to like 160.
Wow. That's
Like I
crazy.
cleared house. I went through everything. I was like, if it's not a movies equip, and it can't if it's a godly equip, it's staying. If it's not a movies equip, I'm getting out of here. So essentially every equip I now have in my box can go godly. If it can't go godly, I got rid of it.
Wow. So red slot, first slot
So
only? Red first slot only?
red or red or gold slots. As long as it's because the thing about godly equips is it's not whether it's a red or gold slot, it's the percentage. When godly equips were first coming out, I did a few tests because some people were getting like passing us numbers, and I was like, fuck it. These people are throwing around these numbers. I have I have all these equips. I had like 99 slot removers. I was like, all right, give me the percents that y'all think it is, and I'll test them and I'll check for each one. And I ended up confirming that the percentage you need is 93% of that first slot. So if you have like an equip that's 21% in the first slot, whatever 93% of 21 is, that is what you need at minimum in the first slot to be godly.
So now we're getting into
Yeah,
the weeds
that's how
of
godly.
how we calculate this stuff. Is there any tools that users can use online to gauge what that percentage is versus doing the maths and figuring
Yes,
that out?
calculator. Literally a
Well,
calculator.
now I'm saying,
Literally take the max literally take the max percent of whatever, literally take the number, the max slot for whatever that first slot is, divide it by 100 times 93. That is the minimum you need for godly. Now, if it's more than one base something or buff in the first slot, you take the average, you add all those up, you find the average of them, then divide that by 100, then times 93. And then that's how you find the percent minimum you need from almost every single one, from every single slot to get godly.
you say this is his common knowledge. The math equation you threw up, I did not know that at all. So, if
Yeah.
you could just do the
We
equations for
confirm,
me.
like, yeah, like we confirmed it too. I had a few equips that were like 93% on the dot. And the way we confirmed it was that the equips themselves did not go godly until the other two slots were maxed.
Interesting. So
And I had an equip that was 92% and I maxed all the other slots. It didn't go godly.
so then for any godly potential equips, if I do have further questions, I'll make sure to go your way because you'll be able to give me the mathematical breakdown of that. That is good
Yes,
to
I
know.
can do that.
So what about you, Deza? What do you think about this 5.2.0 update so far? What do you like? What do you don't like?
It's more so an aspect of like comparing it to updates we've had prior to anniversary. It's definitely on the smaller side for sure. And for me personally, I was really fiending for some kind of like new mechanic to get kind of like shadow dropped in there for PvP, man, because I'll be straight with you, like it's a combination of this god awful meta and then also like just how we really haven't had any kind of shake up mechanics wise like in literal years, I'm pretty sure. So it's just reached that point now where, and I can't believe I'm saying it, I'm actually like counting down the days until we're gonna have an anniversary meta
Hmm.
where usually they're pretty bad, but goddamn, anything to get me away from this shit right now. Like, oh my god, like dude, the fact of that I'm not even hitting rank 30 or not like not rank 30, but rank 60 yet, and I'm already running into the third Reich, which is fucking Super 17 with Golden and the Rat.
Hmm.
I'm not even rank
Hey,
60 yet.
wait, that's what we're calling that team, the Third Reich? Oh
We
my
sure are, baby. We sure are. Like,
God, y'all
dude,
are ridiculous.
I'm sorry, man, but like, I literally just shook my head in disbelief. I'm like, are we serious right now? Like, it's day 2. What is wrong with you all?
That's matchmaking, bro. That's just the way things go in this game.
Like I'm
It's been
literally
like
just
that.
running. I'm literally just running GT for shits and giggles, and like I queue into that. I'm like, all right, man, awesome, whatever. I whooped his ass, but I was like, dude, come
But
on,
did you have
man.
fun? Did you have fun using that
No,
team?
using the team, yeah. Fighting against that shit though, hell no. It's never fun.
You just gotta embrace the madness, bro. That's the only way to get through it until the anniversary, and we get that
The
meta-defining
three,
blue.
yeah, the three Furies of Legends, bro. I'm good, man. Appreciate it. Like, oh my god, I don't know, man. It just,
And I'm gonna table that topic too, regarding on how the meta is currently, and compare that with proud rating matches because that team that you describe wouldn't work in proud because you wouldn't be solely dependent on the leader slot because you'll have to use your actual bench. You won't have to worry about these glaze counts. But again, I'll table that for when we get to that topic. But what about you, Opsta? What do you think about this 5.2.0 update so far? What do you like? What do you don't like?
It's satisfying when you get CC now.
Yeah.
That's really all I felt, aside from the fact that it's good that they separated like normal rating match and Proud.
Mm-hmm.
But are you gonna actually play Proud when there's still so many problems with it?
Well, we're
Actually,
gonna.
there is a reason to play Proud because it actually gives more RP than just standard mode. Like if you're
See,
genuinely trying to
you
climb
say that.
rank,
You say that when, say, you win one and the other guy wins one, and then you try to go for a Proud, and then
still
they
more.
leave. And then no, they
You
leave.
still win more.
Oh, they fixed
I'm
that,
pretty sure you still
so it's
no,
not like
I'm
a
pretty
draw.
sure that you still gain. I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, if you win one and then they win one, you still get more RP than you still get more RP than just doing like a standard mode match.
Yeah, I'm
Interesting.
pretty sure because earlier for like shits and giggles, I decided like make a bunch of random comps to blast all the Goku Day like ticket missions and shit, and I obviously was going to Prow with that because I am not going into traditional rank where I'm gonna deal with like glaze comps up the wazoo, where I would literally get ass blasted for doing that. The audacity of having fun in the first couple days of a season, Lord forbid. But no, like mainly my kind of verdict on it at this point is basically the same as it was before, where I really don't mind the concept behind it. I just don't. And I think my only issue with it going into it, like with the first time it was implemented, was the fact that it was forcing everybody.
Yeah.
That was my problem. Now they fixed that problem because now it's optional. So at that point, like I really don't see a problem with it, especially where, like Lo mentioned, I can also confirm this. You are getting more RP for your time that you are sinking in more into doing a set than one traditional ranked match in comparison.
Yeah.
So
But not only that, you're getting more equipment as well. I believe they upped the drops for the new platinum equipment that's in PvP right now. So that's an additional incentive to kind of go in and grind. And then also just the overall feel and aspect. And again, I'm gonna save my talking points when we get to the proud rating match system, which is actually going to be our next topic here, because I'm seeing a split within the community on I hate Proud. Then I see people that's like I like Proud, and for me having like a pretty decent background in like the fighting game community and like the competitive scene, like this fits well with how competitive games are played. So let's talk about the Proud rating match system overall. Crim, where do you sit with Proud? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What is your perspective on it so far?
So for me, I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I actually love this mode. I
Yes.
really like the mode because it actually gives me a chance to use my characters without getting one tap by a 3 times Zenkai Bup 17. I hate it. I hate going into PvP, dealing with the juiced up teams, instantly losing, and then backing out, go back to lobby. But the current team I'm using is Uni Reps. I would use God Key, but the options aren't really the safest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm running Ultra UI as lead, Evo Ken, Angel Golden Frieza, the yellow one,
Wow.
Purple Jiren, Green Topo, or Rev UI, switch between those two, and then Android 17. And this team is working. I love this team.
Yeah.
It's not the best team because the new meta, the new units, but this worked back when I first used it when the first ever Proud Battle came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably one of the best teams in there just because of the new uni rep buffs that we were getting constantly. But now I think it still holds up. It just depends on who you're fighting. It really just depends.
So I gotta ask, how is that Frieza performing in Proud right now? Because I've heard like he's DOA, don't run him, etc. But now that you have more team slots to actually like use different characters, how is he performing overall?
I have him on the team mainly because he's I don't want 3 greens on my team,
Mm-hmm.
especially with Golden Frieza running around. And him being yellow isn't the best because of the current meta units,
Mm-hmm.
but he's good against if I fight Golden Frieza, I'll be all right. But I do like Golden Frieza right now because he has the disrupt when he's like around half HP, the enemy loses everything and can't really sidestep. I get the ult, the green card, I get 2 ults, I get the Vanish Restore on main, It's just you cannot get caught and by a one tap ultimate or blue card. You just gotta be careful. That's all it is.
Gotcha. So he does good damage, but his defense is somewhat paper thin. Where if he gets touched, it's he's gone.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're actually being uh, cautious with Golden Frieza and you actually can paralyze people, it's really funny. I've paralyzed multiple people in Proud. I know I piss people off with Golden Frieza. It's really fun. But he is a good unit in there. I think the teams I'm running, the first team and second team, I have UI Goku, Green Topo, and then 17. And
Mm-hmm.
then the other team is Evo Ken, Golden Frieza, and Jiren. And I'm running full godly equips. I mean, I could get some better ones, but I'm running pretty good equips.
Very nice. And I'm gonna say as a side note, I'm not the godly equip connoisseur where you'll lobby with me and see me at like nothing but god rank equips. You'll see some Z's or some Z pluses in there, etc. Maybe a couple of godly, but it's all about the skill behind the phone. The godly equips don't
Yeah.
mean it's auto win. That just helps you with the kind of aesthetics of it. If somebody wants to leave at a match select or whatever. So that's how I see it anyways. But as for some teams, I personally haven't made a team for Proud this season yet. I'm definitely going to look at my box and see what I can come up with. Like GT seems to be like a really strong option right now. Android seems like a really strong option right now. Powerful Opponent has plenty of tools to use to their disposal. You've got Sun Family that's got great options. Hybrids have great options. Regen, you might be able to do something with, depending on who you ask. But I'm definitely going to spend some time to create that team because the overall aesthetics and the feel, especially when you get to that match 3, the music changes, like the whole aesthetic of it, just it really gives me excitement when I play that mode.
That's if we get to that part. Most people leave before we get to round 3.
Quote unquote. But hopefully people will start to accept proud mode more and want to see the match through the end because the third match is the best part out the whole mode. So,
Yes, agreed.
but what about you, Glow? I know you got some stuff to say about proud. Like, do you feel like it's better this time around? And if not, or if so, what team are you going to run in this mode?
My thing with Proud is that it's just a mode for them to be like, oh, here's a mode where you don't have to run. That like it's a mode that doesn't incentivize you to run Zenkai buff benches, but it's like you just created a whole new mode to counteract a problem you introduced. Sure, it gives you more RP and that's cool. But even they themselves know that like people don't like Proud mode because if you can't match up in any way with Proud mode, it'll just match you up to a normal PvP match. They even said it themselves.
Yeah.
And I think the issue with that, it like what Proud mode versus standard mode, what this is doing is it's not necessarily that they're bringing this mode back. Really trying to see how much this mode matters in comparison to standard mode. That's why they're doing both at the same time. They're essentially giving players the option to run both.
Mm.
And if not enough people play Proud Mode this season, they're not bringing Proud Mode back.
I see. Do you feel like maybe they're trying to prep the community to replace regular PvP with Proud and have that be the number one mode? Or is that too much of a stretch?
No, they tried to do that. They tried to do that the last time, and everybody hated it. That's exactly why they're doing it twice now. They're doing both at the same time. If they do Proud Mode for another PvP season, I'm telling you right now, the people playing the game will plummet.
Mm.
It already did last Proud Mode too.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people
They
like
can't replace
skipping.
standard PvP.
So then how do they
Like they
improve
can't.
it?
You cannot. The only way, like, I don't even think you really can. It's like I said, Proud Mode is really just created as the dev's own way of trying to introduce an answer to Zenkai benches and the abuse of leader slot. But it's like you created this problem. Like the problem. I'll give you a perfect example. Right, ultras. The free to play ultras have a different ultra ability than the summonable ones. The
Yeah.
summonable ones have kits based on whether they're on the team or if they're on leader slot. The free to play ones are just based on what the team has. What they should have done is always kept it based on what the team has. They never should have made it like reliant on leader slot. And I think the big issue with leader slot is like, yeah, it introduces some pros to the game, but the cons that leader slot gives is too much. Like leader slots and ultra abilities, like they're just they're a bit of an issue right now.
Mm.
Their ultra abilities are a thing where it's like, okay, um, one like the problem with ultra abilities is that you can't maximize certain teams. And it's very obvious certain ultras are meant to be ran with others. But it's like if they have two different ultra abilities, like what's going on?
Someone's gonna lose out. They're gonna lose out on stats.
Someone's gonna lose out. Exactly. Someone's gonna lose out on stats, and then it's just the whole Zen. I mean, the bigger issue really is just the abuse of Zenkai benches. I think right now,
Hmm.
leader slot and the abuse of Zenkai benches is the real reason why they made Proud Mode. But it's like this is not an actual good answer to it.
I
It's
see.
just them tiptoeing around the problem rather than address it.
Well, they gotta find one way to address it. Maybe create unique equipments for old Zenkais to make them good, and then deprecate the leader slot completely. But then you have units like Yamcha that has no team, so him being the leader slot merchant now is just gonna be you gotta make a Saiyan Saga team, or like how, what would you do in that scenario?
If I was a dev, I would have one make Super Warriors an actual team, and two, I would have actually done stuff with the team. I would have made Super Warriors a real team. I would have, first of all, if you're gonna make a unit as good as that, why slap it on Yamcha if you're not gonna make Super Warriors a better team? Let's be for real. Like, Yamcha's kit would have aged tremendously better if it was on a Goku. He would be on Saiyans. He would be on Sun Fan. Like he'd be straight. What teams does Yamcha have? Saiyan Saga
Yeah,
and Super Warrior.
I got
That's not
something
enough.
to add on to that. I've seen recently a team running around mono purple with Yamcha as lead, and that team
Yes,
demolishes everything.
it is
Really?
good, but at the same time, I've seen that team. I ran into it. It's a very good team. At the same time, how often do you really see it?
Not often, because people aren't summoning.
Exactly. Exactly. People aren't summoning.
Yeah.
If it was a Goku, straight up, you'd see yeah, you if Goku had Yamcha's kit, you'd see Goku one out of every one match. He'd be everywhere.
But then wouldn't
Yeah,
that
they,
just create a different problem with Sun Family just being too strong? I mean, look at their roster right now.
I'd rather have a team being strong because of the units they have than a team being strong because it's abusing an imbalanced mechanic in the game. You can easily address strong teams, make stronger teams or introduce counters. But when teams abuse certain issues in the game and mechanics, that's a problem.
Mm. I guess that's why there's the birth of like powerful opponent with Ultra Gohan as lead. So you're dealing with Ultra Golden Frieza, Super 17, and the Gohan all in one match. So
yep.
Mhm.
I can see where some of those issues come into play. But hopefully, Proud can try to resolve that. I mean, again, I stand by Proud. I like the structure of it. I like how you're using the whole team instead of glaze comps of using just the same three. And I get it. People have their favorite characters and stuff, but I mean, it's kind of like playing any kind of game that requires you to have multiple options. You gotta use what's there. That's just my personal opinion on it. But what about you, Desla? What do you think of Proud Mode as itself? Is it good that they separated into two modes? Do you feel like you're going to be using it? And oh, before we jump there, Glow, what team are you running in Proud?
I'm playing proud. That's the funny part. I only tried out like the one movies team I had before just to see what the RP is like. But like I said, this season is so for me right now. Like it's boring. Like in normal PvP, I'm running mono purple. It works. It's quick,
Ugh.
easy
Man,
for
I'm glad I'm
me.
not
I can
fighting you.
just knock. I'm sorry. Hey, it's a little bit different mono purple. I'm running
You counter my team completely.
Zenkai Freeze. I'm running Zenkai Frieza, Ultra Golden Frieza, and Ultra Broly.
Crumb, are you running Mono Green or something?
Just having
So, I
no mono.
am a
Having him.
big Evo Ken stan. I will defend the character on my grave. so I will always run that character, and I run double or triple Zenkai buffs. As of recent, I've been doing double Zenkai buffs because of the health bench. It's pretty much needed.
Mm-hmm.
I run Evo Ken, Rev UI, and then leader slot either being Ultra UI, 17, or Jiren. It could be any of them, and
Interesting.
that's what I run right now. It's my favorite team. I enjoy running that.
And that's just regular PvP. That's not proud, right?
Yes, that's regular PvP. Yep.
Gotcha. And then Glow, you stated you're running like a well, you said you're running kind of like a movie comp in Proud.
Yeah, and Prod, I'm really just running all color movie. That's really it.
Gotcha. And then regular PvP, you're mono purple.
Yup.
Oh man, how many Zenkai buffs does Ultra Golden Frieza have on him?
Or
Oh
Oh,
my god, juiced
get
up.
me out of here.
I'm
Bro.
gone.
mind you, before that, I was running Nerd Gohan, Ultra Golden Frieza, and Janemba. Because Nerd Gohan and Ultra Golden Frieza have a pretty funny interaction together that actually works, and it's pretty good at stopping combos. But the second I tried 4 times Zenkai Buff Frieza, I said, well, this is what it feels like.
I bet you're having a great time.
I was
Trying
having
that.
a great time before, but I'm having an even better time now.
So is it auto battle God rank this time around with that team?
Dude, it might be.
Man, that's
I'm
wild.
telling you right now, I don't need to try unless I'm fighting another mono purple team.
That's and I could build a team too. I'm not gonna go down that road because I don't want to be engulfed in darkness. So I'm gonna still
Now, I'm
try
telling you,
to.
the second you run it, it makes so much sense why people run it.
It's like getting an epiphany. It's like, ah, so this is what power feels like. My goodness.
Exactly.
But what about you, Op? So what do you think of Proud Mode overall? Are you a fan of it? Or are you still on the fence and you don't like it? And
I
what team are
mean,
you running?
I haven't tried it yet this season, but I'm so thankful they decided to separate it so we're not forced to play it. Being forced to play it was so miserable. It was so miserable.
My
But
goodness.
but if I were to play it, it's probably just gonna be a pure droids comp.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. Cause you're the droids main, so I gotta see. Well, I guess based off of what androids are available, we kind of know what the comp's gonna look like, right?
Well, yeah.
So, and
Of
then
course, like if you're gonna do proud, it's not like you're gonna be running the best teams ever anyway.
that is true. I guess it's more of like what are the best, most cohesive tags to run. That's gonna be the biggest kicker
Or
there.
like the tag with like the most amount of viable units.
Yeah, that too. The one that's received the most updates so far this year, cough cough GT. But we'll see how all that evolves as we get more deep into the season. What about you, Desla? I know you're not really too much of a fan of Proud, but what team are you running if you're running Proud match?
I mean, for me, again,
You
I'm
about to say
not in the
same
boat
time.
where I hate the mode or anything like that. I actually do think it's again a solid idea, and really my only grievance I had with it, looking back, when I had to give a take on it when it was first implemented, was again the fact that there was no option to not do it for a
Mm-hmm.
season. That was it. But besides that, no, I mean I really do mess with it because it actually makes the game that we're all playing actually feel like a quote unquote fighting game because I had the option to rematch somebody,
Yep.
which it's baffling to me that it took literally over 5 years for that feature to even be implemented in some way, shape, or form. Like, I would think of it being like, having peanut butter with the jelly for my sandwich, but I guess not. I
Nope.
don't know. Just very interesting. But no. As for comps, I'm gonna probably go with it'll probably be some like variant of Sun Family if I had to assume. I'll probably opt for what's like. I'm gonna look. Hold on. Doing this on the fly right now. I haven't even made a comp yet.
Are you gonna build it as we speak, off the fly, with
I'm just gonna
equips?
look. I'll look at the roster. Why not?
My
So I
goodness.
can do Goku and
Hey, for
Bardock.
which team again?
Sun Family. Can do Goku and Bardock. Oh yeah. USB for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's two. Why not? Ultra Gohan. That's three. maybe Blue Beast, just for fun factor. Why not?
Okay.
Because I think I got it maxed out from my Ultra Gohan summons, so there's that. The recent Red Super Saiyan 3 Zenkai Goku.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they don't update Z Z abilities
He's mono
on
red.
Zenkai Awakening. It
Mono
makes
red
no
only.
sense to me. Whatever. So still 4. Oh, Fiku 5. My last one. Probably the Green Cape Gohan from the Cell games.
Oh, I've heard him doing some wonders. I feel like
Oh, he's very good.
all hybrids are going to do well because they have pretty good equips. Like that Awaken
Hmm.
hybrid equip is so busted that we've never seen anything replicated like that ever again. Because of that equip, hybrids are always going to be doing crazy amounts of damage and such.
Right. And I mean, there's very few units who can like genuinely like tank because of just the ever inflating damage inflicted numbers we keep getting. They just keep going up and up and up in scale, and we don't have the actual defensive capabilities to keep up with it at this point. To where a unit taking like, for instance, right, like a mono purple comp that's like glazed to high hell and back, where you have your average unit in a combo against, let's say, Golden Frieza. If they don't like, if their health is not like over under half after taking a combo from him, like it's insane to say that's impressive now, but it is.
Yeah.
Like, where it's sad that we're at that point now, but it's just the way it is. But yeah, no, I'll probably end up going with that. So that'll be good. But yeah, no, I'll give that a shot and see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, it'll be chill. I'm not gonna really try and like sweat too much with it. Pride mode's just kind of like a thing where I really don't like, sit up in my seat until the Battle of Pride. So
Yeah. I get that. Well, we do have some additional equipment in the game, such as the new Awaken equip, and then Vegeta grabbing Nappa's hand. That's the PvP equip. Krim, have you took a look at any of the new equips yet?
So yes, recently I looked at I gotta get the name. I was working on it earlier, but it's so unlucky for me. That second slot is killing me.
Oh,
Hold on, let me find it. It's a unique equip that just came out recently. Where is this unique equip at?
that must
Okay,
be
here it is.
the take my Vegeta grabs Nappa's hand equip, right?
No, it's the he's laughing equip.
Oh, for
So this
yeah.
equip works only situationally for me. I look at the bottom slot for the defense. You have to have a tag Vegeta clan and tag powerful opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Evo Ken is Vegeta clan. Jiren is powerful opponent. This works on Evo Ken. And I
See,
need
I
the
don't
double
know if it
defense.
technically I don't know if it technically works like that or if it works that
If you
you need a
need 8
character that
Vegeta
has
or
both.
something. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah, like
either, but people are telling me different things. So I'm just gonna get the equip anyway. By all means, if you guys figure this out and you have proof of it, please tell me, because this equip can help Evo Ken because they are struggling with defense. This is a good equip.
I
For
know
sure.
there's other equips that kind of do the same thing. I have to go back. I can check. Um, I know there's equips that actually have like essentially a similar situation with their wording, where
I
like
got really
they
confused
ask
on it. I
That's
hear
the
for
Super
different things.
17 equip that you're referring to. That's
yeah,
like
the Super 17 equip. How is it worded? If it's worded the same way, then you need both.
I
So
believe
I don't
it's
have that equip. I don't know about that.
I farmed
I can
for it.
check. It's in the
That says it needs to be the last slot is up to 12% to own strike and blast attack when GT in character Android 17 is a battle member. So it doesn't specify Super 17, it just specifies they have to have the tag GT in character be Android 17. So maybe possibly running like Bulla and then like, MVP 17 would fill those conditions as party members or as a battle member.
Hmm.
But again, more
okay.
testing might need to
That one
be.
you yeah, because I know for the Super 17 one you need a character that is both. It's the same I'm pretty sure it's the same for that G4 equip when he dropped. It was you need a character like the blast attack slot was blast attack when tag GT and tag fusion warrior is a battle member. So you
Mm,
essentially need a character that has both of those.
Okay.
But specifically calling out for like a character that fulfills both of those two conditions at the same time.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll have to test it. I mean,
and,
if it works, it works. If it doesn't, that's unfortunate. But
and
Well, Krim,
yeah,
if you do test it, put a post up. I want to do some like
yeah,
I want to
I
share
will.
it so
Sure.
we can confirm all together because if Glow is correct with what he's saying, it kind of sucks, but this will kind of give another layer of how you're able to utilize certain equips while still fulfilling the conditions and not run, the banner specific unit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And if this is something that can change, say this isn't gonna work for Evoken because of what we just explained. If this is a future change to make it so you need two types of characters for the equip to work, that ventures out different avenues they can make for team building, and that can ignore the. I mean, that would help out with leader slot, the leader slot problem, but
Yeah.
having the option of running a character and then getting a buff because you're running another character could be very nice in team building, and that'd be very fun to grind, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I agree, but at the same time, this is
there's a big,
Legends. Go
Yep,
ahead, Glow.
can't be
yeah,
optimistic.
I was gonna say the big reason why I don't think it works that way is because they're kind of like specific with certain wording. Like if you look at the DB Saga equip, it says per party member using the same equipment. And I know they have what was it? There was a newer one, but they also done with other equips. Um Let me pull it up because I know one of them is the one that has merged Zamasu on it, doing the whole thunder thing. Yeah, per party member using this same equipment. Like they kind of word things in a certain way where it's like they're very literal, like sometimes too literal. I know even Frieza has it too. Yeah, Frieza's like a perfect example. To own blast attack when character Frieza and episode sagas from the movies is a battle member, meaning that equip only works when you have UGF on it because UGF is the only character that will proc that. Same thing with his gold equip that has cooler on it. Because that one specifically says like I'm pretty sure LOE and sagas from the movies. So it'd only be cooler and UGF. So yeah, that equip should only work for Vegeta and a PO, which I guess is literally only one Vegeta in the game.
Yeah.
The
So it's
Vegeta
essentially like
Nappa would work too. So two,
Yeah,
you need
Vegeta,
Vegeta.
every Vegeta and Vegeta Nappa. So it's like
Yep.
if you have them on your team, all your Vegeta Clan and Frieza Force units can run that equip and they'll be straight.
But that's Vegeta Clan. We know
Yeah.
they're not they're not doing it right now.
In situations like that where you have to meet those conditions, I run God Key and Unirep. Ape Vegeta's not on any of those tags, and I'm not gonna change my team just to do that.
Yeah.
Sadly.
I mean, it makes sense. You got to run the Gaki, which your time is almost here, Krim. Your time is
Hmm.
almost here.
Oh man, you know I'm happy. I'm excited.
So, I mean,
I
we've already
cannot wait.
seen the app update, and it already has the 6th anniversary logo on it. So, I guess they learned their lesson from the last data mines where people were like snooping around the website and just changing the URL to see what was coming in next. And it's like, you know what, screw it. We're just going to throw the logo out so everybody can get an idea of what's to come. So that's definitely interesting to see. But the last thing I
Loki
wanted,
convinced they do that stuff on purpose.
you might be
Like
right.
part of me, because like they know everyone's fiending to find out what's going on, what's the next thing. Part of me thinks like the devs throw out these little bones to try and see like, all right, let's see if they find this.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way VB got leaked early. G4 didn't get leaked early. Thank surprisingly. G4 didn't get leaked early. Actually, none of fourth Annie got leaked. I mean, third Annie got leaked. Fourth Annie, almost all of the fourth Annie got leaked. Fifth Annie didn't get leaked. So it's like sometimes stuff leaks, sometimes stuff doesn't. Like sometimes Fest gets leaked and sometimes doesn't. It's like it happens way too often for me to be like, ain't no way the devs are this incompetent and like just having a secure website.
I want to believe you, but again, this is Legends. We may want to assume like they would never be that silly to do this, and then they end up doing something that is completely opposite of what a smart play would be. So I mean, it's It's really hard to tell with especially where some of this direction goes. But I wanted to kind of dive in a little bit further with how the Proud is set up, like the timing and the matches for those who have dived into the times or whatever. For round one, it's 120 seconds, same as round two, and then round three is 180 seconds. Krim, how long is an average match for you? Is it quicker? Do you feel like the shorter timer counts per each round affects the overall gameplay? Like, does it make other teams better or worse?
So this is a good point you brought up because this is the one thing I dislike about the mode. Having 120 timer counts ends up a good amount of the matches I do, like 50%, 40%.
Mm-hmm.
They go to timer, and it's all about whoever lands the rush first. Whoever gets the rush off is going to get that huge damage amount, and then it's going to go to timer. Whoever rush wins. That's pretty much how it ends up, unless you both rush and you both are still in the game. It really depends on characters, damage, all that. But if I could change that, I would probably want it to be 180 per match. But I
Mm-hmm.
see the issue with that because it's already going to take a long time to get the matches done anyway. Get the 2 wins
Yep.
because you can get to round 3, and that's going to take give or take 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the issues with that, but the timer going to timer in my opinion is just I have not had fun with it the times it's happened to me because it's usually just the opponent rushes me, and either I didn't really kill with my rush or they guessed it, so I didn't get that big damage amount in.
Mm-hmm.
Timer, I lose, and just really disheartening in my opinion. But the third match being 180, I like that. That's good. I'm glad they at least have it for the third match.
That's good. I feel like they need to put more of like a description or some kind of pop-up that says for quick play, and then if you have time, jump into this mode so that way players know that it's going to be a little bit more of a time investment when trying to engage in those matches. Because if somebody's, let's say they're at work and they're on a 15-minute break and they're like, let me do a Proud match, you're late. You're coming back late on your break for sure. But the other option, you'll be able to, go in, get a quick win or a quick loss, etc., and then kind of move out without your day. The last thing I also wanted to touch on is the HP amounts in Proud, because currently, if you have to use all 6 of your slots, you're not going to run an HP buffer unless you're movies and you run Red Pan. Do you feel that that has also impacted team comps and the overall like survivability with a lot of these teams?
So that's also another good point. It just depends on what you're fighting. Like you said, movies has red pan. So if you face a movies team and red pan is on there, you're at a disadvantage already because of the health. But if you're both running something without a health bench, you're pretty much both equal in that situation. You both don't have as much HP as you would in standard.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see it as a big issue. It's easily avoided because, I mean, no one's running Zenkai buffs unless, for example, I don't know if I'm going to keep this a permanent unit on the team, but Green Topo, he's pretty good. I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
say he's amazing, but he's good enough to run right now in Proud Battle. So he's a Zenkai buff, and I'm buffing Evo Ken with it.
Okay.
But you can't really get away with doing that on every single team. Like, I don't know much about androids. I don't know if they have a runnable Zenkai character. I'm not too much involved with that.
Revival
Can any
Cell.
of you fill in
They
with
have
that?
Revival
Revival
Cell,
Cell.
yeah.
There you are. That's one of the newest revival. Well, that's the first ever revival Zenkai, and he's pretty good. And him being in Proud Battle is actually quite dangerous.
Very. Because you're
Yeah.
getting the buff, juiced up Super 17, and then you also got to fight a revival unit as well
Hmm.
that does pretty good damage, has some decent power down capabilities, has an immobilizing, range green card if played correctly, and then blue card is going to do massive damage. So, like, the red cell, I got my thumbs up on that. But as for, you know, typical teams outside of Proud Battle, he's certified bench because Super 17 just takes up all the glory.
Absolutely, and that's why I like Proud Battle more often. I mean, I'm guilty of running Zenkai benches because if you don't run a Zenkai bench for Evo Ken, you're not gonna win.
Yeah. I mean, you're,
It's sad, but it's the truth.
but I mean, it's the standard now. Like, what meta team is not running some sort of a glazed comp? Like,
There's
everyone
none.
is. There is none.
Everybody is. Yep.
Hmm. And that's what the
So
meta
I
has come
get it,
to.
but having both of these modes as an option gives people the choice on if they want to deal with the juicy teams or they actually want to use multiple characters and just have I mean, it's like a quick match because of the 120 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to deal with those really juiced out units, and that just makes the mode even better, in my opinion.
Agreed. What about you, Opsto? What do you think about the timer counts in Proud Battle and also the equivalency of HP buffers? Do you feel like that's having impact or none?
I really wish every one of the fights had 180 counters or counts, because like Krim was saying, like a lot of matches will end up going to timer, and
Mhm.
and that's just no fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and a lot of times it's not even like you'll need a lot more time. It's like, oh, I need like 30 more timer counts, and then I could probably beat them.
Yeah. But
Like
luckily you
Sometimes
get
it's
that
same
even
with
like 10
rematch.
seconds.
yeah, literally.
I agree.
There's
But
been matches I've had, sorry for interrupting, but there's been matches I've had where I was 5 to 10 seconds away from winning the match, yet I still lose to damage.
wow, that
It's
sucks.
not
Yeah,
Nah,
it's
that
not cool. It's the
those
timer
games be
count.
pissed. When you lose the first game to timer count, you gotta just sit up and lock in the second game.
Mhm.
But the fact that you get a
And
second game is the
It's just
kicker.
disheartening when you
exactly
lose to timer, yet you're
because
gonna
you
win
know
if
you
there's more time.
that's the part that pisses you off. The worst part is you would have won it not even by like 30 seconds, not even five, just by 5 seconds. 5 seconds
It's
more, you would have
awful,
won.
man.
It'll actually, that's why you like get pissed off and like you for the second game, you just gotta lock in. You just gotta lock in and win.
Hmm.
Yep.
So do you think they should add the rematch feature in regular PvP?
probably yeah.
Ooh.
Like it's always fun to have it, like in any fighting game. Like of course you can always just decide not to, but if both players want to have a rematch, sure, why not? Like let them.
Yeah.
I
Like
don't
you
I
know
mean,
if
have
that's a
it, but
good
don't force
idea.
it.
yeah,
Krim
no, like
said
what
no.
no like no, like how it could be implemented is that like it's going to be the same thing. Like it's like the same match, but
Actually,
you can just choose to have
I just
another
thought of
game with him. It's
now.
not the
Here's the
same
thing,
game.
right?
It's just a
I
completely
see an
separate game.
issue with that.
Me too.
I see an issue with that when it comes to like rank one grinds. Because say you and
Yeah.
another person are trying to like match up, you find each other with that rematch. That's just automatic double DRP
Hmm.
for
That's
free.
a big issue. I don't want people juicing each other up, having like you queue up with somebody on purpose and then give the RP twice to that person, then the RP is just gonna go even
Or
higher.
you could
Yeah.
just have just like one
Exactly.
rematch.
One
Or
rematch is still a lot.
Yeah, that's still double
That's
the
double
RP.
RP.
That's two matches you didn't have to do anything.
or maybe stop the rematch feature at rank 70. So God rank grind doesn't turn into a juice fest.
That would work. I mean, that is possible, but I don't think that would happen. I don't know what Legends devs are gonna do
Yeah.
if they ever decide. I mean, we're almost 6 years into the game now, and we've never gotten a rematch featured in standard. I highly doubt we're gonna ever get it.
You know, this game has
We've
been
been
going
asking for a
on.
rematch feature since year one.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of features we've been asking, but we're finally getting at year 6. So I'd say the devs are listening. It's just the time frame of implementing things is a little too lengthy. Like the whole guild versus guild battle. When did they announce that? And it's still not in the game?
Months ago.
Months ago, yeah.
Are they saving that? Well, let's wait until anniversary and see if maybe that's when they'll drop that brand new mode in. Maybe that's what they're saving it for. But for your overall perspective with HP buffers and then also the timers in Proud, Opsto, how do you feel about that? Your overall?
With like well, like again, like you're gonna have less HP because you want to use all 6 units, or you can just sacrifice a slot to have an HP buffer. But there's not a ton of like actually viable HP buffers, so you might not want to do that.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like because of like how long games can go, even then, like 120 timer counts is just not enough for most games.
yeah.
It needs to be more.
So unless you're running glass cannon comps and whoever gets the first combo wins, it's the only way I can see it. Especially with all
Yeah,
these
pretty
units
much.
that have promote passive play like the Ultra Gohan. You got the Ultra UI with the unique gauges. You've got the purple UI. So those will probably be some teams that Proud would really abuse the whole timer system and try to just win through damage and stall out completely. But what about you, Desla? Do you see the timer counts being an effective measure for Proud Battle of being 120 counts, and then also your HP buffer perspective?
So, I mean, I definitely understand where everyone's coming from in terms of like most matches just being decided by like the rush factor, obviously, in terms of damage. And I mean, that kind of boils down more to the fact that the main reason why that aspect into, I guess, the PvP rules was even implemented in the first place was more of a problem of like the old regen meta, where matches would just go a timer and result in a draw before this kind of like feature was implemented.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing about it is that now we're at the point where the opposite problem is the case, where units are doing too much damage too fast. So I'm at a like I guess a point where I don't really see why it's like necessary in a mode like this. I just don't. So especially when we have like shorter timer accounts, I just think they should just outright get rid of the rule where like you can win by damage.
Mm.
Like if it's a situation where somehow, some way, you can't actually like fully kill your enemy team, then just draw it, and then basically make it to where it's forced to go to a battle of pride. If y'all are seriously being that timid with 120 timer counts, so you cannot kill your other opponent in that amount of time, that's on you, bro. Like, I'm sorry, man. Be more aggressive. It's just that simple. But I don't know. I guess, like I said, where I sit with it is just that it was a fix to an old problem that is now outdated that needs to definitely be adjusted for current times. And with a new mode like this that is seemingly on death's door anyway, with interest in the player base, I see no reason why not to implement it and see how how it works out. So
Yeah. Well, there's definitely some room for improvement on Proud Battle. We're currently in what the preseason 2, so we'll see if there's going to be a preseason 3 or what if they decide to scrap it or whatever the case may be. But that's all for the updates related to the game and Meta Talks. Now we'll jump straight into our special guest segment where we'll be shooting some questions over Crim's area and see if you guys are able to learn a little bit more about him. So I'll start off with my question first. How did you get into Legends in the first place?
Okay. So Dragon Ball really wasn't a big thing for me as a kid, and I kind of wish I found it out sooner. But I heard about Legends because I was playing Dokkan at the time, and most people that play Dokkan play all the mobile games. And
Mm-hmm.
I had some buddies in high school that told me about Legends coming out. So I actually got it when the game was in beta. I've had my account since beta. I've never lost my account. I've never re-rolled. I got Super Saiyan Goku first try. I stuck with the account the whole time. But obviously, years ago, I was nowhere close to as good as I am now. I barely touched PvP. I was just playing the game for fun, doing the story events, getting characters, and then fighting my friends. But
Interesting.
yeah, I had a humble start, I guess you could say, to Legends.
So
I
then
got it right away.
what was the switch that clicked that said, you know what? I'm gonna go into PvP and I'm gonna try to be good at it and then get into the whole like social media thing.
So when I started playing PvP, I mean, I did it every once in a while, but I really wanted to get top 10K. That was my dream back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
because I was hard for me. But I remember going for top 10K when AGL, well not AGL, I'm talking Dokkan now. All right, Vegito Blue, him when he came out, Purple Fusamasu, Rage Trunks, that was my team. I ran that in PvP. I think that's the first time I got top 10K. And then at that point, I'm like, oh, dude, I felt great.
Mm-hmm.
Playing Legends, it was a good time. But I don't think I started streaming the game until uh, Blue Bros came out, the Tag Purple unit.
Mm-hmm.
They came out. I was nowhere close to as big as I am now, somewhat. I only pulled like few viewers, not no less than five. Playing the game, I wasn't playing it like I do now, where I actually play PvP on stream. I just summoned, and then I would end stream. That's how I did it. But I kind of, over time, more people started showing up, and I'm like, oh hey, I can actually make something out of this, and I enjoy when I get to play a game that I enjoy and other people like watching it. and we could just play the game together pretty much. That's what streaming is. Just
Yeah.
relax, have a good time. So I did that, and I've been streaming ever since. I mean, ever since the Blue Boys came out, I've been streaming. And
That's
it's just been going up and up and up.
that's awesome. Like I know you had to been feeling like high in the sky when you probably got like your first permanent or positive comment like in the stream saying, "Hey man, I'm glad you're on. You know, I really like watching you." Da da da. How did that make you feel?
I felt great. It's always good to know people like what you're doing, like making your like my time is worth something to these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people that watch me. And I've had people that I met back then still stick with me to this day.
That's
It's
awesome.
crazy to me. Obviously, there's people that don't stay, but that's the cycle of life.
Yeah.
People are busy, I get it, and they like their interests change. But having those small amount of people that always stick with you, even if it's not a large amount, that means the world to me. I'm glad I can make their days better, and I hope to get more people like that too. I mean, I love streaming. Legends, I'm starting not to like so much because of the current meta, but you know that's how Legends is.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a I go for God rank sometimes now, so I've seen a whole different view of PvP. Like I'm up there in the ranks where I know, oh man, it's you need certain characters and you need to like rush, you need to do all this stuff to get top 1K. You got to play a lot.
Yep, yep. It's the dedication and the grind and the consistency that comes with it. And I mean, you're seeing that as it unfolds as you stream from time to time. You're gaining more community members and
Hmm.
you're getting your name out there. So it's really good to see creators like yourself grow. And then as I mean, we're growing too. Like we started earlier in the year and you know, more people are listening in. Like we just crossed like 50 followers on Spotify and we're slowly growing the YouTube channel as well. I'm starting to stream a little bit more as well. So, like going through those first growing pains, they sometimes suck because it's like you only got 2 to 3 viewers, but over time with consistency, you'll see the numbers grow. Which I mean, you've seen, I'm starting to see, and hopefully people whoever decide to go into like the content creating space, just just stick at it, man. You'll get you'll get the wave that you need eventually.
It's all about consistency, and I've learned that. I been consistent recently? No, but I'm trying to get better. It's just life's been pretty busy. I'm
Yeah.
tired out at the end of the day. That's the biggest thing with me. But I'm definitely gonna be streaming a lot more if like when we get to this topic later. Oh man, if I get my character, oh dude, it is over.
It's
I
over.
I, I cannot wait for that.
Oh man. Well, that's all the questions I got. I'm gonna pass it over to you, Glow. Go ahead and ask your questions.
All right. Outside of God Goku, what is your number one wanted unit in this game?
I had a feeling this would be a question. And the thing is that I already got the character I wanted the most, Evo Ken. That was my second most wanted unit in the game.
Oh, all right.
So I was waiting for Godku and Evo Ken, like Evolution Blue Vegeta and then Blue Kaioken Goku. Because the Tournament of Power, when that happened, I was loving that moment.
Mm-hmm.
They may not have done it justice too much, but I'm glad it's in the game,
What's so
and
high?
that's a character I've been waiting on. But if you're asking about a character that's currently not in the game that I'm waiting for, that's a tough choice. I mean,
What's left?
there's not much left. They've done everything, right? They've done most characters. That's a tough question. I may have to go back to that one. Because like obviously God Goku and Evo Ken, those are the two characters. Maybe a God Vegeta. I know I'm being Super Saiyan God guy, but I want him in the game too. He's not really respected in it.
Except the
No
yellow
God unit
one.
is. The yellow one got a a unique equip, and then a Zenkai. So he got support, unlike all the God Goku's in the game. No Zenkai, no nothing, or whatever.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
All right. So my question too is, if you weren't making God Key, what team would you make?
Okay. As of recent times, I've been running Universe Rep, and that's my second go-to team. But in the
Mm.
past, if I had to answer this question, I would go with Fusion Warriors, because I used that team a lot back in the
Mm.
day.
Oh no. I hate Fusion
Okay.
Warriors.
I didn't use it when it was like, I mean, I'm not the UVB guy. I
Okay.
never really used them back then. I only used the Magaki. But early day fusions when like Green Kefla was out. Those days I was using fusions.
You just
This
gave me
motherfucker named the
nightmares.
worst option.
Bro.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, but not sorry. You guys are having your fun with
No,
your
I
teams.
was
Let me
one
have
of
my
them
fun in
people.
mine.
I was one of them people. I can't blame
Green
you either.
Kefla
I
was
love Green
awesome in the
Kefla.
game. Just all
Oh,
strikes. It
strike
was amazing.
damage.
The
Toxic,
feint on
but
ults.
fun.
Oh man,
I win. She
Oh,
really won.
she was just
it
crazy.
was
And then
so
Red
toxic.
Gotenks came out with her, and Red Gotenks was all right, but nothing close to Kefla.
Kefla and VB was such a toxic combo, but it was so fun.
Oh yeah, endless combos, dude. Good
Oh, it
times,
was
good
so fun.
times. Back when I actually had a chance.
You still got a chance. What you talking about? God
Right
red
now, I
VP?
don't.
Okay. So now my last question is, if you could add one mechanic to the game, what would it be?
Okay, actually, this is a good. I have an answer to this. Like a comeback mechanic. I mean, like Golden Frieza got that, but this goes on with God Goku. I kind of want it to be if you die in the game, like you get a little animation that plays. Like if God Goku gets knocked out, he's gonna scream, "I will not let you destroy my world," and start
I
beating
knew
up
you
the
was coming
enemy.
to that. I knew that was coming.
I was thinking, but we kind of already got that. That's what I wanted, but then Golden Frieza has that, so that mechanic's pretty much in the game. So I don't know what else they could add in the game that'd be something new that they kind of already did.
What
That's a tough
about
question. I
what about
mean,
blocking?
blocking, I mean, we already have the god green base Goku with the green card that can
So
block.
apparently,
So that already is in the
yeah,
game,
we
but it's a
used
green card.
even then back in the beta, we kind of had something like blocking, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. That could be like
Yeah.
another feature that's outside of a green card or outside of a special ability.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like way back in the beta, and then like it got removed, if I remember correctly.
You know what? An
It was
interesting
like a
mechanic. This could be pretty toxic pretty quick. I know we have the guaranteed win for clashes with MUI, but what if there was a mechanic regarding strikes where if you had a gauge full and you did you did a clash with somebody, you win
The game or the clash?
the clash.
Oh, okay.
gauge.
That
Oh,
you
that's
win the game if you get a like no,
I was
that's
like,
not
is it
how it's gonna
Exodia?
be.
What's
Bro,
going
what
on?
are you
Nah,
on
no.
about?
No. It's just if you
I
like
would
say you're
really hate
clashing with
that.
somebody and you have to do the timer thing. If you have a gauge, it's like a safe zone. If you have a full gauge, it's gonna split the gauge in half, and then you don't actually get hit from that if you lose. That'd be something that'd be nice, right?
I feel like
Something like that.
red UI kind of does something like that now, right? If you lose,
Yeah, but that's a guaranteed win,
It means
and
one
you
like that,
actually
but
just
like it's one
always win that.
gauge.
oh,
It's hard. I want to say other mechanics. I just can't think of it right now because they already have gauges that do certain things. Gohan has the the cover change cancel, whatever you call it, where like just destroys someone with blast armor.
yep.
That's
Blast.
one thing I wanted. They got it, but it's only for Gohan, the character I don't have.
I don't have them either. It is
Yeah,
for other reasons. I don't main hybrids or Sun Family, so.
same here. Yep.
Oh, fuck that unit.
I hate the unit too, man.
Me too. All right, so then how
And
about
then we'll hear Rosie cry about that unit too.
for sure? All right,
Oh my
so
god, my unit's so slow stars, and I'm like, bro, shut up.
so let's pass the bucket over to you, Obsto. What questions do you have for Krim?
All right, I got two questions, and I'm going to be boring and repeat the same questions I ask everyone else. But what was your least favorite unit ever to fight against?
Oh,
And
dude,
I mean ever.
this is an easy question, and I was watching Sax do his thing here, and it's the same as well, like I don't even know if he picked this at the end of the day. The droids,
Come
the
on,
red
man.
droids.
Oh,
Come
the
on.
17-18 tag?
I know you're an Android. Listen, 17 and 18, I hated that unit with a passion. The green card with 18 removing Vanish was pretty toxic. The green card with 17 was really toxic, cover null.
Mm-hmm.
And this was at a time when I was using my favorite unit, Ultra Kaioken. Got completely countered by droids, and I did not stand a chance.
Yeah, I was so
Every
happy
match
I
was
finally
droids.
got like the mega counter to Kaioken because I hated having to fight him, especially because before the droids came out, the team itself, androids, was on life support. Like bro, to fight Kaioken, I was trying to use Zenkai EX-17,
Wow.
who's a strike unit.
Oh man, Yeah,
I was desperate, and they answered my praise.
yeah, they did, and then they took away mine, man. I
Someone's
was
got to
running Ultra
lose.
Kaioken. I was using them a lot, and then when 17 and 18 came out, I had nothing but bad times. That meta was horrible for me. Another close one. I mean, this is pretty much the same time Ultra Kaioken came out. Red Cooler too. The lock-in with the strikes. He died off quick, but that was annoying
Yeah,
too.
I
But
was gonna
the
say like
droids, the droids are definitely worse.
he was gone as soon as he came in. It was like a month of his shine, and then he just disappeared.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
man,
gone. Even Goresh won't talk about him.
he can't.
And for my second question, I don't know if this is gonna piggyback off the first question, but what is your least favorite meta ever? Is it the droids?
That's a tough question. I think the droids were bad, but Mono Purple was bad too.
Bat more worse than Holy Trinity.
Holy Trinity, I
Or
was playing
year
the
one
game for,
regen?
but I wasn't as much into PvP,
Oh,
so I can't really say I dealt with the tours of that meta. I played like a two or three matches. If I lose one, I instantly quit. That was me back in the day. That I didn't stream or anything. That was me in high school. I had Purple Broly because I know he was a menace. But that meta, if I played it, I probably would put that at number one because oh, you know what? Super Saiyans with a crit is bad too.
I mean, that's Holy
That
Trinity.
meta was there for the Holy Trinity. Yep, that's bad.
I remember
Droids
trying
or
to
Holy
counter.
Trinity,
I
one of
remember trying to
those.
counter Holy Trinity with Yellow Bojack, but when he got
Yellow
directly countered by Gogeta.
Bojack. Oh,
I mean, I've seen people try to use Heart Virus Goku back then, trying to make stuff happen.
Yeah,
you
Yellow
just had to think of
Bojack,
something
Purple
in those
Shield.
metas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough
I
if you
wish I
weren't running
played
Holy
more
Trinity.
back then because I missed out on some metas. And I'm sorry to say, I was one of those people running Red Gohan when he was busted.
Oh
I'm
God.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I ran Red Gohan, Purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and Namek Goku, the blue one. I
And
ran that
that's
team. That was the best
My
team in the game.
man.
and that's the end of the episode,
Bro,
guys. I'll
you
talk to you later.
yeah,
Listen,
Get
all
the
right.
fuck
bro,
up.
I'm telling you,
Oh my
Krim, you
god.
missed
I
out on the
sucked at the
purple, the
game,
OG.
so I had to run the OG like amazing team.
That's awesome. Oh my god. Probably my favorite guest
Krim,
so
you
far,
missed
not
out
gonna
on
lie.
purple. Yeah, you missed out on Purple Broly. Them days
I
was
yeah,
that's
I
like the
missed
first.
it.
I think he's the only unit that like people deadass had to re-roll their accounts
Yeah.
just to
Yeah, I
get
never
him.
really
I can't think of another
got
unit
that.
for that.
People re-rolling, you're just wasting your progress you've had over the months or even years you played the game. That's
I
why I've
mean,
never even thought
Yeah,
twice about doing it. I'm
to
never
be
going to.
fair, like if you're like if this is like within the first year of the game, and there's this new unit that comes out that is so good that if you don't pull them, like you're just going to be at a disadvantage no matter what in every single facet of the game. Like I can see the
It's
reasoning.
it's
Like
very
well,
true.
Krim, you're like
That's
me.
very true.
You're
But
kind of
I'm pay
like
to win,
me.
so
We
I
both started
definitely
off.
if I was free to play, maybe
Yeah,
I would have re-rolled by now. Yeah.
yeah, because Krim, you're like me. You started off with Dokkan first, right?
Yeah, and that's how I figured out about Legends, yeah.
Yeah. So, Purple Broly was this game's Red Gogeta. To give
Yeah.
you that kind of idea of what Purple Broly was on release,
You talk about Red Gogeta?
he was yeah the OG Red Gogeta.
Okay. Yeah, if you didn't have that character, you would instantly need to re-roll. Yeah.
exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I'm getting at.
It was like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, he was good. Yep. I didn't use him a lot, obviously. I was terrible at PvP. I don't even remember how I played. It was so long ago now. But yeah, that meta, I can't imagine what it was like. I'm glad I didn't play it.
You hey, you missed out. I wouldn't say you missed out. You did yourself a favor. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. So last but not least, we have you, Desla. What questions you got?
Oh yeah. So first question I got for you is gonna pertain to semi unrelated to Legends, but it's still kind of involved because of the IP. I can maybe guess the answer, but what is your favorite Dragon Ball movie?
Oh, I can see why you said you may guess it.
Uh-huh.
I have two favorite movies, but if I had to pick one, I know people are going to think I'm going to say Battle of Gods,
Yeah.
but I think my favorite movie is the Broly movie.
Which one?
Huh.
Wait, which
The
one? Which one? Which one?
DBS Broly movie.
Is that only because
Okay,
there's
that's
two
right.
Super
Okay.
Saiyan gods in it?
Okay, listen, I know that has a big part of it, but I have
Is that
fond
the only reason?
memories. I have really good memories. I remember going to see that movie on opening night with a bunch of my friends that love Dragon Ball 2. Seeing that in the theater is just an experience I'll never get again.
Yeah.
That movie was so good. That was top pedestal for me for so long. Battle of Gods, I never got to see that in theaters.
You
I didn't watch
missed the
Dragon Ball
fuck
back
out.
then.
You missed the fuck out, bro.
Not
Oh
not
my
really
god.
true though. I watched it last year when they brought it back to theaters.
It's just not the
But I
same, man.
didn't it's not the same because I didn't see it when it happened.
I
No,
I
will,
for
regret that
context,
to
yeah,
this
when
day.
they actually had that shit come out, like I think it was like summer 2013 here when it got like localized for dub. I got to watch that shit when it came out that summer, and I was 13. Dude, for reference, I grew up on Nicktoons to actually be
Wait.
exposed
There's
to
no way that was in
what?
2013.
Yeah, it was.
EBS Broly.
Yeah, it was.
No, no Battle of Gods.
This guy cannot listen, bro. Don't mind.
Oh.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
never mind.
yeah,
Never mind.
exactly.
Never mind.
Now we gotta add not listening to the list for Dragon Ball fans. So here
oh
we go.
no.
Hey, yo,
Uh,
Blow,
like,
is DBS
yeah.
Broly in the room right now?
Oh my,
Yo.
God.
oh my god. But yeah. So essentially, I got to see that, and for context, I grew up on Nicktoons, specifically the edited down version for like Dragon Ball Kai, and getting to basically be exposed to that when I was around 10 in 5th grade, leading into the like sudden brand spanking new movie that they drop a few years after I get into the series like for the first time, I was hyped as shit. And getting to see that in theaters when I was 13, I'm never gonna forget it. The whole "You will
Yeah.
not destroy my world" sequence, man, will be immortalized in my mind as a top 5 moment in fiction in my brain for the rest of my life. I'm sorry. Like
Don't be sorry. I love that moment so much, but I'm just
Goosebumps,
so upset.
don't even begin to cover it.
I'm
Like,
so upset I couldn't see that when it came out, but
oh
I just
my god.
didn't. When did Dokkan come out again?
I think it was 2015.
Like a decade
Yeah.
ago almost.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
2015 or so. That was after the movie came out. I didn't
Right.
really do any Dragon Ball related stuff until I got Dokkan halfway through year 1.
Yeah, it's valid. That's valid. No,
And
it was
it's
complete
'cause
chance I even got exposed.
Yeah, I just didn't do it. My family never knew about Dragon Ball really. I wasn't too much into anime. I was mainly a Sonic kid growing up. I played all the Sonic games. And then I was
Oh.
watching Sonic X on TV. I didn't really
my
know
God.
about Dragon Ball.
I mean,
Nice.
you should have known right after Sonic 2 when you have 50 rings and you press jump twice and went Super Saiyan. That should have been the
I-
gateway.
Yeah, I have regrets as a kid. I definitely have made mistakes in saying to Dragon Ball fans that Sonic was first,
Oh
and I
no.
take that back.
Ooh.
I am sorry. I learned really quick that that wasn't true after watching Dragon Ball. Dragon
Yep.
Ball is really good. Love the series, but I'm glad I found it, even though it was late. Even though I didn't get to play the games as a kid, I'm still glad I found it. I wouldn't be where I am, obviously, without discovering it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was definitely the best thing I found. I'm very glad. But back to the whole question you asked, definitely Broly, just because experiencing that in the theater with IRL friends, it was so good. I
Interesting.
can
Valid,
never get an
valid.
experience like that again. It was so awesome.
Oh
Ran-
yeah, no.
Random question though. Have you seen all of the Dragon Ball movies yet?
Yeah, I think I have. Yeah, the only movies I think I've missed are probably the really early ones,
Oh.
if anything.
But have you
But I've
seen
seen it-
Evolution?
No,
no,
well, no one's
I
seen
never,
that.
never going to watch that.
Bro,
I've seen memes.
I
Thank
love
you.
Evolution. I love
Thank
Evolution.
you.
It's so funny.
Ignore his
one
It's so
opinion.
thing I know
funny.
from
Ignore his
Evolution-
opinion.
Listen,
Doesn't
the
matter.
one thing I've seen from Evolution is this meme of a guy sliding on a car, and that's it.
That's
Oh.
Goku. That's Goku.
That's Goku.
Oh god.
Okay,
Bro,
yeah. Can
the
we
movie's-
skip
the
this
movie's so
conversation?
funny.
I am
It's
not
so
even going
funny.
to talk about that anymore. That's
Yeah.
Goku. No.
Yeah, Dessa, what's your next question?
Oh
What
my
the
god.
heck?
Oh Jesus Christ. Anyway, okay. So my second question is for this anniversary in particular. Obviously, part one, we know who you want, but
Mhm.
if you had to make your own personal out of the park home run roadmap for what you'd want for releases. Obviously, I know that I think Glow mentioned before when you were asked what your other most anticipated units would be, that it was kind of hard to like figure that out. But with the framework of an anniversary, if you had to pick, who'd be those dream picks for this 6th anniversary coming up?
And I can't say Godku.
Well, besides him, obviously, I mean, it's the Rings of the Wall. I'm thinking it's a non-zero chance he drops for part 1. To be honest,
You said 9%?
a non-zero.
Non-zero, yeah. So I may go off a little bit on this because I wanted to talk about the anniversary itself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at first we got the Battle of Gods free-to-play Whis, and then we got the equipment. Like we're going into a God Key stepping stone area. We're getting God Key, it's
Yup.
like slow God Key buffs before any. So that's guaranteeing, in my opinion, this new unit's got to be God Key, at least one of them.
Mm-hmm.
At least one.
Yeah, and I saw the recent what do you call that mode? It's the mode that had the blue Vegeta on it.
A full power battle.
Full power battle. Yeah, I forget it. I haven't touched it in months. That mode had that had blue Vegeta on it. So I don't know if honestly it's just a picture, so that it could mean anything. I'm assuming it's gonna be God Key. I really still hope it is God Goku, but I'm not guaranteeing it at this point. So if I had to pick another character that I'd really want for part 1, even though I really think it's too early for this to happen because we just got Ultra UI, I would want to transforming into MUI Goku. UI to MUI.
Okay.
That,
Okay.
if anything, that'd be a really fire unit. Having a God Goku that goes blue from the Broly movie would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Because that moment was really hype in the movie. And I know people want a Super Vegito for part 2. I like Super Vegito, but I summoned for him back in the day. I remember getting him for the first time. LF Vegito, it was hype. I don't know what they would do for this Vegito other than making a fusing Goku and Vegeta into Vegito. But I would be a lot more hyped for a UI to MUI Goku. And if you want me to, I have an idea for part 2.
Sure.
I would guess it's gonna be something future related because they need buffs.
Sure do.
And I think a good part 2 unit would go back to the whole idea with a festival. Make it a what if unit, future Gohan and future Trunks.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Now,
that's been
hold on.
said a lot.
Specify which version of Trunks. There's a correct answer and a wrong answer.
It's not the Super Trunks.
Thank God. All right, we have a
It's
base
future
individual.
Gohan and future Trunks. Super Trunks was not.
What is this
yeah.
Super Trunks hate?
I'm not even hating on Super Trunks.
No.
It just doesn't make sense for the character.
I am. Dude, no, I'll stand by
the
this shit
man literally
100%.
went through. You mean to tell me you expected Super Trunks to keep his muscles in a world where he had to go through more PTSD
It's
and there's
not
no
even close to my grievance with the character. My problem is that they wanted to do the same thing that his daddy did in Super, where they recycled his character development to make him more interesting again. And like, I'm sorry, dude, we can only retread the same thing we've already like gone over in story prior to this, like so many times before it gets old. And
Bro, his is
again,
not as bad as Vegeta's. You're gassing. You're gassing. You're
it's,
gassing.
it's
Can we
Ain't
just
no
all
way
agree?
you're comparing it.
We don't do those such things here.
Listen, we
Listen,
all can
listen,
agree Super's
fuck
made
with-
big mistakes,
oh yeah.
right?
They made big mistakes, but Future Trunks is not the one I'll say is a mistake.
And to be fair, no, glow. We could disagree all day. But the one thing I need you to agree with me on, and if you disagree with this, we got a problem.
He's better. C Trunks is better.
No,
Don't
I know.
get it twisted.
I know. However, the biggest grievance I have with it is that his arc, besides it being unnecessary, it introduced. I don't think it's arguable. I think it's just objective at this point. Like the worst ending that an arc has ever had in Dragon Ball.
Oh, don't even get me started. The ending's ass. The ending's ass.
Okay,
The ending
please.
is ass.
If I
Yeah,
heard
the
defending for
ending
is
that,
ass.
good.
I hate
I
the
don't
ending.
think anybody
I
liked
hate
that
the
ending.
Yeah.
no, you'd be surprised.
Nobody
dude.
liked the ending. It is so bad,
But-
bro.
Yeah, back to the anniversary and predictions.
Right.
Yeah, part 2, get a future buff. I'd rather future be part 2 and not part 1. Because there's that rare chance that part 1 could be a God Key future buff, like a Merge Zamasu or something. We don't know yet. I don't want it to be future. I really just want it to be Godku, because this looks like my only chance. I've been waiting 4 years for this character. I haven't got an LF, Ultra, Zenkai, nothing. I got a free-to-play unit and 2 old Sparkings. But,
yeah.
and then part 3, I think this is obvious. Shout out to saxophone UG4.
Yeah,
I think
Gogeta,
UG4 will be
really?
we.
part 3.
I
You don't
think
think
we're
we
all in
stayed for
agreement.
Fest?
I mean, he could be used for Fest, but at the same time, I feel like getting a GT buff in the GT year in Anniversary makes sense.
Oh no, I know. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a GT character, but I'm saying like Super Saiyan 4 Goku
UG4,
as
Super Saiyan
opposed
4
to
Goku would be good too.
yeah.
It's one or the other. It's definitely going to be GT, I think. I hope it is. Honestly, let Sax have the
Mm-hmm.
time of his life. He deserves the buffs after
Mm-hmm.
waiting. He
Over a
waited
year.
longer than me for buffs, man. Like 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
Jesus. Oof. Yeah.
Respect to
No.
him. I feel like
Oh,
him right
absolutely.
now. Um, I haven't summoned in 6 months.
Damn.
I have 103 KCC.
God damn.
Stacked.
Man
I
is
have a
ready.
lot. I haven't summoned since Ultra UI Goku when he came out in December last year.
Huh.
I
Yeah,
got him
clears
8
roster though.
stars. I got him 8 stars, and I actually had the willpower to skip him when he came back.
Mm,
Just for this anniversary. I'm really hoping I made the good choice.
I think you
we'll
did.
see, man. We'll see.
If it's not
Yeah.
Godku, I'm going to be very upset.
It-
Needless to
Yeah.
say, everybody on Twitter that loves Godku is going to be crying for a week.
Oh well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
if it's not him individually, I do think that we are on the right track with it being a God Key character, and there's a good
Absolutely.
timeline and a bad timeline. The good timeline is if they go the route of deciding to kind of ape off of what they did for Fest a couple years back with the Broly movie duo, except instead of them being in blue, they're in like both their God forms, and they're able to, I guess, transform into blue, and then maybe that's where we have our second gauge come into effect, where after a certain
Mhm.
period of time, you're able to automatically fuse into Gogeta.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't care any like I know the Godku fans, a lot of them want Battle of Gods Godku specifically. And I get that. For me, I've waited 4 years. I will take anything as long as it's a headliner. Like I just want a good Godku in the game. If it's from Tournament of Power, Godku and Hit, I mean that'd probably be the one I really don't want the most,
Mm-hmm.
like the least one. If it's a Godku and God Vegeta from the Broly movie, that would be insanely hype. I would
Oh
love
yeah,
that.
oh yeah.
I mean, Dokkan did that. I love that too. But having it in
Mm-hmm.
Legends, using that all the time, that sounds like a dream come true. So
Absolutely.
I will absolutely take that if that's part 1. I cannot be greedy. Just give me the character. I'll use all my CC. And if it's not Godku or no part of Super Saiyan God at all, I'm only going to use like 10 or 20k of the CC I have, and I'm not going to use anymore. This CC's
Valid.
for Godku. It's not for anything else.
Specifically.
Yeah.
I am.
Nah.
No, I'm not lying. I had enough of giving my money to the game if they're not going to release my favorite character.
No,
Yeah.
it's valid. It's valid. Because I
Not to
mean,
mention the
you
meta's
know.
changed so quick.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, the bad timeline pit they can go with, and I know you mentioned before. I think with how you do not want them to go with the future route for part
Mhm.
1 is if they decide to go with the like Rose and Zamasu tag unit for part 1,
Yeah, that would
which
be.
I do think could happen.
It could happen. Yeah, but what were you saying?
Oh, in terms of what?
You said something. I cut you off. I think you stopped.
I don't think so, but I mean,
Okay.
I think yeah, no, as far as where I'm concerned, dude, I don't think I'm quite at your level because I definitely I don't have nearly as much CC saved, just to be very very transparent about that. But on top of the fact of just like I have not waited obviously years for the character like you have. To be
Mhm.
honest, I've kind of like flip flopped all over the place in terms of where my interests have kind of gravitated towards for tags to look at. But I can tell you with confidence that if it is in fact they got a Goku and they do not fumble his animations, specifically the moment, and it's from Battle of Gods,
I
I'm
would be so
I might 14
happy.
star on release. I
You
might
will.
do it.
You will.
So this is kind of like a teaser to something. If it is Godku and that's gonna be probably the most hype thing I've ever done in my Twitch career. That's gonna be my time. Like Sax had his GT buffs, that was his time.
Mm-hmm.
Gaku, my time. Because I don't think there's any other Twitch streamer that I know of. I mean, there's a few that like Godku a lot, but I have been the coper of Godku on Twitch for a long time now.
Hmm.
So if that does end up happening, I'm gonna spend all the CC. I'm not gonna 14 star him instantly because I want to do collabs with people I know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, maybe you guys can join in too if you guys want Gaku. We'll see.
Hey, we'll see. Hey, if they have God
The movie
Vegeta,
unit, I'm summoning.
God Vegeta would be nice, but yeah, I can't
Listen up,
wait. I have so
Brandon.
many
These
ideas
movies, I'm with
planned,
you.
but it just I have to wait these 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and I have to just hope it's him. If it's not, I'll make it through it. I mean, I've been denied multiple times in this game, hoping it's Gaku, then it wasn't.
look,
Um,
optimism.
It's way too many
I'm
hints that it's gonna be
optimistic. It's
Gaku.
definitely God Key, and that's helping me out. I cannot wait for the anniversary. I'm
Oh no, it's
excited.
100% Gaku. You see everything that they're just dropping. It's like it's everything Battle of Gods. The only
Yeah, I
Literally.
question
mean,
people know is
it's
like
hype.
it's 100% Gaku. We just don't know if he's gonna be movies or not.
I feel like he deserves something because I've said this on my streams before, and it's not really the biggest point ever, but think of every form in the game for Goku. We got a base Goku. I think base Goku's not really respected too much in the game, but we got an LF Super Saiyan Goku. He may not be the best, but we've had LF Super Saiyan Gokus. The Super Saiyan 2 Goku we have in the game, the yellow one, he got a Zenkai, so at least he's been noticed. Super Saiyan 3 has had multiple failures of LFs. And apparently the best version of him is a red, only the ability red Goku, which is Super Saiyan
Oh, that's
3.
cap. That's cap. That's cap. That's cap.
Is it
That's
only
cap.
red, or is it not true? What is it?
No, because Super Saiyans we had the OG Namek Goku. He was fire.
Yeah, he was busted. He's
Um,
LF, so
Counter
there you
blue
go.
card. You
yeah,
fool.
Mhm.
and then for SS3s, purple SS3 was always good.
Yes, he was good too.
For
Yeah.
both pre Zenkai and post Zenkai,
No, he was talking
green.
about specifically
I'm
LFs.
talking
LFs that were
about
failures.
Oh,
like
LFs.
Every single one was a failure.
here's what I'm referring to. Like you guys will see in a second. I'm just pretty much pointing out how every form in this game has been treated at least okay, but God Goku has gotten nothing. Super Saiyan 4 Goku has an
Our
LF.
Goku got
There's a
one.
Zenkai. Super Saiyan God has nothing. No Zenkai, no
Actually,
LF, no Ultra, nothing.
yeah,
Literally
nothing.
nothing.
All you have are like 2 Sparkings and 1 free to play.
Yep, and then UI Goku has an LF. He has an Ultra now. And then MUI Goku has an LF. I know it's one unit. He's old, but you can see where I'm going with this. At like every single form except for base, Kyle Ken, and then God have something. Like God, those 3 forms don't have anything in the game. No Zenkai, no LF, no Ultra, but the other forms get treated well. I know Super Saiyan 3 fans get a lot of characters, but they're
Yep.
not the best. But they at least get recognition of getting the LF title, even if they're not the best. I really don't care how good God Goku is. Obviously, don't make him like rest in peace Super Vegeta. But please make him at least runnable.
Are you
I will
talking
never
about
complain
Mr. B
again.
tier? Mr. B tier Vegeta?
Mr. B tier. I don't really know too much about him. I just know he's definitely not as good as he should have been.
Nah, like
you know as much as you
he
need
left
to
the
know.
featured boost.
Yeah.
He left the featured boost, and now he's in B tier. He's not even in C. He's in B.
Wow.
Well,
He's that bad. They needed to give him a little bit more.
just
Wow,
adjust
man.
his ult and make it like not travel time. Like that's.
It's not just that, bro.
I mean,
Or at least
that'll
frame
give him
trap
some
from
help.
long range.
No, they should make him a good
He
unit.
needs a lot more than that. His
Mm.
gauge
Yeah.
needs to be able to refill
Super
on the
Vegeta
bro.
field.
needs a plat or something to help him.
He's God.
Rebalancing.
He needs to be a unit from 2024, not 2022.
They got to treat these characters with
I
at
did-
least good, like make up top 5 on release.
do-
I think everyone would be happy with that.
He's a Vegeta. They won't.
I do find it funny
Yeah, trust
that
me, I
final
know.
like
Evo Ken, man, I know. I know.
I
I'm
do find
upset.
it funny with
Yeah.
if you ever notice with Super Vegeta's kit, like his gauge is literally
But I don't know. Do you guys hear Glow? I think
No.
he cut out.
Yeah, he cut out.
Because
Well,
Vegeta
yeah.
Clan took him.
Oh yeah. Rest in peace, man.
See,
Back
he
him
tried
up,
to he
buddy.
tried to defend him, and then it was like, nope.
All right. I guess I'll continue then.
Yeah, the spy just listened and he just silenced him.
Yeah, but I'm sorry about going off, but I was planning on talking about the whole God Goku thing because it's been on my mind ever since we like got the Battle of Gods Whis.
Nah,
When I
bro,
saw
this
that
is
on
the
Twitter,
guest
I was
segment, man.
losing my mind.
Yeah.
I saw that
Go
on Twitter.
nuts.
I was laying in bed. It was like 11 p.m. I saw Whis on Twitter. I got up from bed, started stream. I started coping for Goku for like 30 minutes.
That's fine, dude.
y'all hear me?
Yeah,
We can hear you
Oh, I'm-
now. There you go. Welcome back.
I was
Welcome
about to
back, Glenn.
say, I don't know what happened.
Vegeta Clan took you. That's what happened.
I was
Oh.
saying, did y'all hear what I said about Final Flash's gauge?
No.
No,
Nope.
you cut out at Gauge, I think.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I said Final Flash is. It's funny that Final Flash, Vegeta, is the one that fought Cell, and he has a worse version of LF Cell's gauge when you really think about it. Because LF Cell, the gauge does everything his was supposed to do.
I'll be straight up honest. I have no idea what Super Vegeta's gauge is.
You don't need to know. It's
It
okay.
just refill.
I don't play
It
into
just fills up. It fills up, and once it's filled up, he's a good unit, does damage. He sees.
Got him again.
They got no, they got caught glazing the Vegeta unit.
See?
That's funny.
No bueno. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I'll end my whole like God Goku talk. Let's hope. We'll see in a couple weeks. I'm very optimistic about this,
Yep.
and hopefully this podcast, because I know you guys
Killing
probably
me.
got the pod.
Welcome back, Glow. Every
Hey,
time you talk about
welcome
Vegeta
back,
Clan,
man.
it takes your soul.
But yeah,
Alright,
the
let's
podcast, I know.
wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm wrapping it up. The podcast, thank you guys for inviting me onto it. I know it was mainly because there may be a Gaku coming out. I really hope there is, but if there's not, I don't know, man. We'll see what's gonna happen.
I think
fingers
it
crossed
will.
for you, bro. Fingers crossed for you.
I'm
It's-
crossing them right now as we speak, man. I cannot wait.
For
Knock on
sure.
some wood right now.
I will lose my mind if it is him.
Well, prepare to lose your mind because it's going to happen. But
Okay.
thank you for joining on this podcast here. That wraps up our special guest segment. Again, we'll make sure to keep your socials in the episode link. So if anyone wants to follow you on Twitter or Twitch or YouTube, they'll have access to do that. And then, you can continue to grow as a content creator. But that is mostly it for today's episode. Lastly, we have our Dragon Ball related news. A Dragon Ball Super Driver or Divers card game was announced. So if you want to check that out, I think it was announced earlier today. And then also for any player that plays Fortnite, Future Trunks is slotted to be added in that game. So that'll be cool, and Cell will be able to kill Trunks in that game too. But outside of that, that's all the news we have today for this episode of the Rising Brush Podcast. Again, we'll have our new episodes every Friday. You can follow us on Spotify and also on YouTube. And again, we'll talk again next week. Have a great day, everybody.
See ya.
Later.